The Swinford Media Group live-streamed the City of Marion's Town Hall meeting at the Cultural and Civic Center on Monday, June 14th. Now 2 years into the current administration, Mayor Mike Absher and the city's 4 commissioners reported on projects of the recent past, the present, and an exciting future. One of the main focuses of the city efforts is the revitalization of Tower Square, which has quickly turned into a joint effort between city and private investors. The city is doing its part with plans to renovate the First Southern Bank building and make it the future home of City Hall. And the new City Hall building will put building and code services front and center on the first floor, along with the water department counter. The second floor will feature several offices and a new city council chamber with double the seating capacity of the current one.
Although I really like our city council chambers, it's very, very limited to seating. And so we will be effectively more than doubling our seating capacity for City Hall for the council meetings or for big meetings that we have in there.
But building renovations are just part of the plan. The other half is reworking Tower Square Plaza and the parking areas to help draw visitors to the new businesses. To make the plaza more workable and walkable, usable space, the city will be removing large flower boxes in the middle of the square and installing state-of-the-art fountains on the east and west sides of the plaza.
The idea here is they're lit by LED lights. The interesting thing about these fountains is that not only do they have LED lights, but they're also timed to music. And on the next slide shows you a little bit of an overhead, almost a diagram, if you will. And I want to point out this. So this is what we're going to have during the wintertime. So this is an ice skating rink. It probably will operate somewhere between 3 and 4 months out of the year, specifically 52 degrees air temperature or warmer. It actually has cooling coils through the ground, and you literally fill up a basin with water and you freeze it and smooth it and skate on it. Beyond that, the First Christian Church right down North Market Street, right across from Benny's, which is pictured in this far right photo, unfortunately ceased having services last November, and that is no longer a church. And they deeded the building to the city with the understanding that the city would be responsible for finding any use for that property and maintaining that beautiful historic building. And so we worked many, many months, many people did, and we're excited to announce that we are going to rebrand that facility as Market Street Hall and turn that into a small venue. And so this will make a much better environment for very small venues, or very small events in that venue. The Senior Citizen Center has got a energetic new director, Jill Graskowitz, and she is full of lots of ideas and hard to keep up with sometimes, to be honest with you. And she's rebranded it as Club 60. One of the things that she's found as a challenge is that people simply think of it as an old folks home, and it's anything but, by the way, if you've been down there lately. Marion Carnegie Library also has a new director, Loretta Broomfield, whom we're pleased to have and glad to have. And she's got all kinds of new programs for all kinds of new ages and new envisionment of what the library can do and how it can serve. I am really quite excited, frankly. It's sad, I know, and some of you have told me to see the Motel Marion come down. For me, it's an exciting time to see that facility come down. It has been a blight, in my opinion, on our town for quite some time, and frankly has been quite a challenge from the law enforcement aspect and health, life, and safety of our community. He's planning an 18,000 square foot strip center here on the front with about 85 parking places, and in the back there's 4 quadplexes. But what's important about this is not necessarily whether you like what's going there or not. This represents between $3 and $4 million worth of new private investment.
Many more details of the city and private investment into the redevelopment and renewal of Marion can be found in an article by William Bateman in this week's Marion Star, as well as the full stream of the meeting that you can still find on the Marion Star's Facebook page. Before wrapping up the meeting, Mike Absher was excited to share some news from the developers of the Oasis, formerly the Illinois Star Center Mall, and the surrounding area, being developed by Black Diamond Harley-Davidson owners Rodney Cabanis, Shad Zimbro, and others.
So on this slide, this big round kind of kidney bean looking thing over here, that's the mall property. This one is called Oasis fields. So this is, if I'm counting right, about 12 multi-sport fields that can be adapted, like I said, for multi-sports, and the whole goal is to get many people here each and every week or every weekend to Marion. Up here is a ATV Test Track, and that's important because part of what's going to be in what their development that they're calling the Oasis is one of the world's largest ATVs, and think side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and all the accoutrements that go along with those, and accessories and things, one of the world's largest dealers. Just to orient you, this is Dillard's, Anderson Furniture over here, and this is Target, if you couldn't tell by the bullseye. The question is what, those stores have always been there. It's the stuff that connected them that went out of business, that has failed, and what do they see going in there next? And you might also notice, it may be hard to see, this is where their big outdoor theater screen is at right now. This piece right here is what they're calling the Atrium, and that will be a mantelpiece, if you will, for the new Oasis development. There's an element inside called the Thrill Zone, which is a no-holds-barred destination for those adventure seekers looking to compete, to let loose, to feel the rush of adrenaline. In the Atrium, which is what I pointed out to you as being kind of the mantelpiece, this is a collective hub, according to them, that pulsates with light, color, and guest energy. The Atrium is the heart of the Oasis, making an immediate impact on visitors. This center court is scaled to impress, with 360-degree activations, including indoor skydiving overhead. This destination wastes no time showcasing the unique features of the development. They show another part of it, which is what they're calling the Family Commons, which is a destination for the kid in all of us. This is the test track back here, the RV park. This is the soccer and multi-field park back here. And right as you're touching the mall is Oasis Golf. Now the brand that or the franchise that they're seeking is called Big Shots. Some of you are familiar with Top Golf. This is a similar development as that, but this one is called Big Shots. And I've never been to one, but I understand they are quite popular. This will probably take several years to get all of these pieces done. What keeps occurring to me in the context of my own family is, boy, kids and families will never be able to say again, there's nothing to do in Southern Illinois. And that's the goal, guys, is how to re-envision an entertainment, dining, and thrill complex where retail died.
One of the main developers spearheading the project down at Oasis is Rodney Cabanis, and we had the opportunity to sit down and talk to him about some exciting things that are happening on the west side of town. Here's that interview with Rodney.
We've got it's so many amazing things that are in the works, you know. So it's challenging trying to keep up with all of it, and to you know, Marion is an anomaly. You know, we've still been busy. There's still been customers coming here, still been doing business with us, and throughout the community. So you know, it's neat to be a part of that, but it's also a struggle, you know, to figure out how to overcome all the business traps that are out there, and make sure you're taking care of the customer. And so, but we're glad to have a front row seat. So everything that we're doing is destination oriented. So you know, we've got a furniture store out there at the mall. We've got power sports, we've got RVs, everything that we have, we're trying to create an environment of that entity that causes people to want to come from other places to our location to do business with us. Entertainment and experience, that's what drives a lot of people to want to go to a certain location. Inventory has a lot to do with it as well, so we invest in extra inventory, but you still got to have that experience when you get there. You got to try to take care of them and make sure they have a good time, and it's not just coming and filling an order. They come here, they eat at our restaurants, they stay at our hotels, they visit all the many functions that you can do here in Southern Illinois. And I think we all have to be advocates for that. We all have to let people know that we're more than just one piece. I mean, we're a culmination of a lot of different things, and that's on all of us to make sure and point that out. So there's a lot of things that aren't really for public consumption yet that are going to be. There's just not going to be very many of them in the country, and so. Even though I can't say exactly what it's going to be yet, but it's what excites me is that it's going to cause people to come to visit us. It's going to bring people to our area, and then we've got a job to do. Once they get here, we've all got to work together to make sure they have a great experience, not just the city, not just the businesses. I mean, just everybody in our community needs to be good neighbors, and we need to show people our hospitality and make sure they want to stay. But what's exciting to me is the opportunity for us to market Southern Illinois, bring people here, and then hopefully get some people to stay. Whether it's to live here and retire here, or if they want to come here to work and raise their family. That's there's a lot of reasons for people to move to Southern Illinois, and we have to show people that. You see all these different components. I've never in my life seen so much cooperation, though. Even with our educational institutions, everywhere from the high schools to junior college, SIU, everyone is working cooperatively to try to figure out what we can do best to bring people to our region. And so that's exciting. That's neat to see that happen.
Part 1 of this report from the June 14th, 2021 State of the City Address for the City of Marion is full of projects and updates from the different departments of the city, including streets, public works, public safety, and finance. You can find Part 1 here on the Swinford Media Group's YouTube channel. There are many other promising plans to report, including a planned new bike trail through Marion, the downtown mural district, and improved walkways and parking. The Swinford team will continue to bring you the latest on these projects and more in the months ahead. Swinford Media and the Marion Star are proud to have the Watermark Auto Group as a sponsor of all our digital programming.
The proceeding has been a production of the Marion Star Live. The material may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, or otherwise used without the prior written consent of Swinford Publications, LLC.